Here we are with SES Promotions, big promoter out of Germany, Benny Blanko, here at the WBO convention. Benny, welcome to America. How's everything going this week?
Everything really, really good. Happy to be here, WBO convention in Florida, and we are happy. Everything is great.
Just convention is great. You get to meet a lot of the other promoters.
Yes.
Talk about your fighters for the ratings, and learn more about what the WBO is all about. So it's been a pretty informative, pretty good week.
Yes, really great week. We have good meetings, good discussions. The WBO is doing a lot how to bring the sport to the next level regarding medicals, regarding judging, everything. So make it better, and that's great. And it's like a big family over here.
Over the past few years in Germany, a lot of the fans and people they know about Sauerland Promotions and know about Universum.
Yes.
But you guys are kind of like the sleeping giant. A lot of people, you're like on the outskirts, but you develop world champions. You got a lot of great fighters in your stable. Just to ask you a few questions about some of your fighters. You 16-0 Colombian Alexis Angulo. Talk about him.
Well, he's a great fighter. He's 16-0 with 14 knockouts. He just had his US debut in California, beating former amateur standout Isaac Cardona, and by an impressive unanimous decision. And we'll see where he goes. I want to bring him back to the United States, and we'll see. Angulo's ready, training with Pedro Diaz in Miami, and I think we have a really, really good fighter there.
Yeah, you have a two-time world title challenger, Robin Krasniqi. A lot of people remember he fought Nathan Cleverly, and he had another title challenge, and I understand you're going to move him back down to 168 pounds?
Exactly. Today at the ratings meeting, and that's what we came up with. And, Robin Krasniqi is now fighting super middleweight, and we expect good things from him, and I hope he do something.
The one division that's really hot in Europe is for the last maybe 20-25 years has been the super middleweight division.
Exactly.
Frank Warren has had many champions dating back to the mid-90s. Arthur Abraham. We'll talk about Stieglitz in a couple minutes, who's one of your fighters. The super middleweight division, that's always been a hot division over by where you are.
Yeah, it's and I think we have like 3 or 4 German fighters ranked right now in the top 15 of the WBO, and it's a hot weight class, and with a lot of history in Germany, and we're still going there. We have a hot prospect in Moritz Stahl, also he's a super middleweight. Then there's Angulo. We have some good guys.
Talk about a fellow we just saw on Showbox. Unfortunately, he ran into a quality young contender, Antoine Douglas. Your guy was previously undefeated before, Istvan Sealy.
Yes, Istvan the Prince. We had a great camp and good preparation, and I really don't know what happened in the ring that night, and Istvan don't know, but Antoine Douglas is a great fighter and one of the hottest prospects right now, I think, in the middleweight division. And Istvan, he will be back on December 4th in Istanbul, Turkey, and he will fight a 10-round fight. And then we will see. I think I love him like a brother, and greetings to Istvan, and he will be back 100%.
Next week, you have a fighter by the name of Yuri Kalenga, who's going to be fighting in Monte Carlo. Came so close to beat Denis Lebedev about a year ago, or earlier this year, for the Cruiserweight Championship. You're getting him right back in a big fight.
Yes. Kalenga, he's a phenomenal fighter, tremendous heart, and a great human being. And he really had to go the hard way. He had to leave his home of the Republic of Congo, went to France. Now that's his home, and he had to fight out of the country against Masternak from Sauerland. He defeated Masternak by decision. He went to Canada and knocked out Denton Daly, an undefeated Canadian fighter, and then he had the big chance against Lebedev for the WBA world title. And he dropped Lebedev, right? He was dropped himself, and it was a great fight. He lost a close decision, and now he'll be back on next week in Monaco, and against Roberto Bolonti.
And I expect some fights here in the States and in other places, just fought John Pascal and whatnot.
Exactly. And I think Kalenga has really good chances in beating him. And I hope after that there's the next big fight. And I can't wait to be in Monaco. Now I fly back to Germany, and from Germany to Monaco. And I'm happy to see my partner Gary Hyde and Kalenga. We are like a big family, and great time in Monaco.
Also, a guy we mentioned his name earlier, who's fought in the United States before, former world champion, just had, count 'em, 4 fights with Arthur Abraham, Robert Stiglitz.
Yes. Robert Stiglitz now is moving up in weight. He'll be in the light heavyweight division, and he just had his first fight. And his promoter, Ulf Steinfort of SES Boxing, the founder, he's doing a tremendous job with all his fighters. And because you mentioned that before, you had Sauerland and Universum, and still Sauerland, but SES Boxing is doing a great job since 15 years. There are 3 TV deals that we have right now, and so good stuff. And Robert Stiglitz is the company's great fighter and former world champion, and we will see what he can do in the light heavyweight division.
If fans want to know more about SES Boxing, you guys are on Facebook and Twitter and all that
Yes.
stuff?
Just check out sesboxing.com or my company Blanko Sports, and we working really, really close together, and very happy, good things. And we work fair with the fighters, we work fair with all our partners. No, none of that trying to rob somebody, or we really work fair, and that's our idea of relationships.
Anything you want to say in closing?
Only thanks to you, my good friend here, and I'm happy to see you again after meeting you at the Showtime event, and hope to see you in the future again. And thanks to the WBO and everybody involved, and can't wait. Boxing is the best sport in the world.
It's a small world, so I'm sure we'll crisscross somewhere. Thank you, man.
Small world, big family.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, cool.